Okay, so in this video we will be talking about how to solve 4 cases, what I call up and down cases, because the shape is very difficult to describe. So what I mean up and down is basically you do a logarithm, you turn it up, and then you do another one, and then you turn it down, or vice versa. You first turn it down, or do something and then turn it up. So you get the idea. So in this video, we'll be only talk about a few pi cases, which there are in total 4. So let's get to it. First one. Sorry. So this is the first one. So first we're going to talk about how to recognize this case. So basically, when you saw something like this, there is a you can see this as an arrow on in the middle one, which is the top color. This is the top color, yellow, and you also saw a center that is correct, like this, only one. And there are 4 cases of them. You will get to know them later on. And so when you see this, you know that this is a pi case in the up and down cases. So now we are going to talk about how to start. So it is very similar to our next video. You basically start with this one, either on you're going to start with the top color to the opposite of you. Or we can say that either this correct color is on the top or on the bottom. So in this case, you will be starting here because top color is here and the correct one is here. So if we give another example, it will be something like maybe this one. So here you turn it there, and you are going to start with here. And that's all for how to start the case. So now we are going to talk about how to start the case, since we are already done with where to start the case. So it is also very easy and very easy to understand. So when you start the case, the arrow is on the opposite of you if you're doing it correctly. So if the arrow is pointing upward, you are going to do sledgehammer. You are going to start with sledgehammer. And if the arrow is pointing, this is also upward. So if the arrow is pointing downward, you start with hedge slammer, and that is very easy enough. So the last we're going to talk about how to turn. So basically, the first time you're going to turn to the side of the color where the center is correct, like we have done many times. So back to the example, if you start with here, you know you're going to start with sledgehammer because the arrow is pointing upward. Actually, like not straight upward, but generally upward. You know you're going to start with sledgehammer and you're going to turn this way. So that means that when you finish something at here, you're going to turn it back, because this is called up and down after all, right? So you do sledgehammer and see here. So actually, after you have done the first one, you can already consider the rest case as a double combination, which you know how to solve, but it's not effective to observe twice. So what I want to tell you is how to know the full algorithm with only one look. So we can go back to the positive and negative analogy we have used in the past. So what I consider is if the correct color is on the top, we consider it as a positive, and if the arrow is pointing upward, we consider it positive. So if the product is positive, you are going to do 3 same logarithm. So in this case, you know you are going to start with sledgehammer, you are going to turn it here. So you know the logarithm will be S up, S down, S, like this, up, S, S. So otherwise, if the product is negative, you are going to do ABA. So what I mean by ABA is like you do hedge slammer and you do sledgehammer and you go back to a hedge slammer. And that is the basic idea of this case, and we're going to go through these 8 cases one by one. So first one, this one, top card, you start with here, pointing upward, start with sledgehammer, and going upward, and the product is positive as you can see. So it's going to go sledgehammer up, sledgehammer down, sledgehammer. Second one, okay, upward here, you start with here, upward, you start with sledgehammer. But this is positive and this is negative. So the product will be negative, which means you are going to do a different algorithm in the middle. So this will be sledgehammer, hedge slammer, and sledgehammer. So sledgehammer, hedge slammer, sledgehammer. Next. So this one, sorry. Oh, actually, there's a little mistake. Yeah, this one. So this is pointing downward. You start with here. You're going to start with hedge slammer and turn to this side. This is negative, negative. So you are going to do the same algorithm throughout this case. Hedge slammer, hedge slammer, hedge slammer. And we're only to the left with the last one. So this would be here. We start with here. Hedge slammer, top, and positive, negative, negative. So what you are going to do is hedge slammer, sledgehammer, and hedge slammer. So these 4 cases are really easy to understand, and you can think figuratively. I think it's pretty easy to remember these. So I hope you find this video helpful, and I will see you next time.